What you trying to say? Only black people spill?
No, I'm just saying, like.
No, I meant the noise from the mic.
Oh.
Yeah, like drag it.
No, yeah.
Yeah, we don't need none of that. Is it bad?
I roll my
Yeah,
joint
it's pretty
right
bad.
here.
Just move that closer to you.
High councils always start fashionably late. What is it? 7:12. That's how you started it. I love it. Dang, just coming in. All right, I'm gonna roll this up because I think that's needed for this to actually happen. You know, it's
I
only
guess.
right. It's only right.
Yeah, I've already been smoking for quite a while though.
I definitely have more of that flask, whatever, 1-to-1 CBD THC
I mean, we can do a cheers real quick.
with some more of that.
Yeah,
I mean, go ahead, grab it out the fridge.
it's right there.
That's sage oil. You could drink some of that if you want.
I don't want to do that. No.
It's mainly good for
We'll,
the
we'll,
smells.
we'll leave that in the fridge.
It wouldn't leave that in the fridge for me.
Yeah, yeah.
Cheers to Moscato, though, as long as we keep it off the table.
The barefoot.
We
Yeah,
got the tea
barefoot.
though.
What kind of tea? Chai?
Earl Grey.
We got the tea. We got the indica. We got the Rio.
You end up taking a nap.
I did. Like an hour.
Yeah. Oh, that's a long one. I feel like when you get into the 45 minutes plus, it starts to turn into like I could just sleep now.
Yeah,
And
no, it's definitely turning into that. But I was like, I got the second.
I need
Did like 15 push-ups.
I literally can never nap, pretty much.
Mm.
Almost never.
I thought you always napped though.
No, but most of the time I lay down and
Mm.
get to like a very relaxed state, but
Oh,
like my
okay.
mind never fucking turns off.
Yeah.
And eventually I'm just like, all right.
Well, that's kind of what I mean. I'm laying there.
Oh, okay, so it's a similar thing.
It's like just
Like you're kind of, but not really. You're not enough
Exact-
to fall asleep.
I didn't hit the zones where I'm like,
Yeah, it's pretty annoying though.
But tonight's gonna be nice. Maybe that depends.
How you gonna talk with the fucking cup in front of the mic?
I'm about to sip my tea real quick. Hold on.
Then don't speak. I'm just kidding.
This shit hot.
I'm just kidding, baby. Oh, how's that fuck up? Are we really letting Griff roll this though?
Oh, I'm not gonna roll it. This machine's gonna roll it.
Hey,
Yeah.
that works.
You know?
That works. I'm with
It'll
it.
be pretty.
I'm
It'll be
with it.
pretty. Yeah.
I'm with it. Efficiency.
But that's fair. That's fair. I suck at rolling. I'm not gonna lie. I suck at it. I can do pinners. I can do these little pinners sometimes, though. That's pretty cool, right? Can make like these tiny little, like toothpick-sized joints that never stay lit. You kind of get a hit, and then you just like,
It's nice if you're
Lose
trying
it.
to conserve it, you know.
yeah. And you know me.
What's up? I mean,
You know me.
Mr. Conservative.
Not on all the
I mean, that
levels.
shit just like goes out so fast sometimes, but sometimes it's nice. You get the right
Exactly.
pull on it.
Exactly. Depends on the weed though too. I feel like if you get the really like sticky stuff, it definitely won't stay lit in those
Nah.
situations.
Gotta put the tobacco in there, or not.
Tobacco. The spliff. I don't really ever do that, but I'm not against it. It just never really happens. Some people I know only smoke spliffs.
I have
Who?
a friend who used to.
Izzy pretty much said she used to only smoke spliffs.
Oh, but she doesn't
I like
anymore.
two
She doesn't really
friends
smoke
that
anymore,
did
I don't
that.
think.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, what's up with that? A lot of people just don't smoke anymore. I was almost one of those people.
Almost, yeah.
I've dipped my toes into the sober man's life in terms of weed for maybe a few months at a time. How long have you guys gone? Like, what's the longest you've gone since you started smoking?
Without smoking?
Yeah, longest you've gone without smoking. Not, yeah.
Damn. Man. Unfortunately, probably like 3 months.
3 months.
When?
I thought you were gonna say days. I was like, damn.
Years ago.
How many?
Probably like when I was like, probably like 5 years.
I thought you were gonna say 5 years old.
No, hell no. But I did. You know what I'm saying? I hit the joint when I was like 9 years old.
For real?
Yeah.
I don't think I smoked till I was 14, maybe. DI, bro. At Destination Imagination.
You might have smoked before I did. 'Cause
Maybe.
I don't think I smoked until I was.
I remember the first time we smoked together though. I don't remember what that dude's name was.
I remember it was just like
Yeah.
kind of like my uncle. He was adopted in the family. And I just remember we were on the front stoop. And he let me hit the joint. That's all I remember.
That's all you remember.
What happened?
mean-
Now, how old were your nephews over here the other day?
Oh, like 12.
Mm.
And they blow back?
Mm.
They blow
What
back
kind
already?
of what kind of uncle are you?
Oh, you,
Hey,
you blew
I-
back with them?
No. Oh,
Oh.
no. I'm not blowing back with you today about,
No, but I was
13 at least.
I was trying to
He's like
pressure. I was trying to pressure him into it.
Oh, you devil.
No,
you devil
no.
you.
I'm not going
Devil
to do
you.
it. Because then, let's see. I hit it 9. And then I would say
And
probably
that
like,
fucked you up for like 12 years.
It didn't, though. It didn't.
Okay.
Because I started
so you're
smoking
proving,
like...
you're proving my point though.
Yeah, it didn't fuck me up. But when I did start smoking heavy around like 15, that's when I started super blowing back. Like
Right.
blunt packs of it.
Right.
And yeah, pretty much has it.
Yeah.
Well,
From that
no, it
point
slowed down.
forward.
It slowed down. I ain't gonna.
Yeah, you could do the 1E game, you know?
Yeah.
You're not always rolling up anything anymore.
Nah.
Even
nah,
I feel like even when I first met you, which was what, 3 years ago now, 3.5, 4 years, something in there.
Yeah,
like,
I
met
was
you.
falling off the blunts.
Yeah.
I was falling off the blunts.
But yeah,
Yeah, I definitely don't smoke like I did 4 years ago or whatever. But
Nah.
there were some times though, man.
yeah, but
Vaporizer days for me, that was when
Oh,
I was
damn.
the most lit. The big ass volcano,
All of it.
just the giant.
Res, I'm smoking. Hey.
Oh man,
Res-
don't talk about
Res
Res,
boy,
bro.
Res boy.
What's worse, Res or ABV? Definitely Res, but ABV is pretty rough too. Already been vaped.
Man, that pales in comparison. I feel.
Man.
It does. I just remember one day in particular that Alex and I smoked like a fucking mason jar full of that. It was terrible. It was the worst thing. We were like 19 or
Sometimes
something.
you be
Or I
like
was 19.
Beandy, you like, oh,
Yeah.
it'll work though.
Yeah. I never smoked weed that early, but my uncle like forced me to drink one time. Or yeah,
Forced
I think
you?
just one time. No, not forced, but like same kind of.
Dude.
It was more of a force than what he experienced though. He was like, "Drink this," and I was like, "I don't want to." And he was like, "Do it," and I was like, "I don't want to." But then I was like, I kind of did want to,
It still looks like a pinner.
you know.
Yeah, you want to,
But then I had some, and then he was like, "Nah, drink more. Like you gotta finish it."
face.
And it was like one of those tall boys. I was like in the couch, dude. I was like,
Oh my God, that reminds me of a time. Shout out my friend Joe, but his dad,
Joe Rogan?
R.I.P. Yeah,
Yeah.
his dad, rest in peace, Chip. But he, I think we were like maybe 10. He gave us a little beer. Split it. It wasn't no like super force, but it was like, here, try this.
That shell for the ashtray.
but that's perfectly to the point though, because when they were over here the other day, my bad, we keep going back to the shit, but
Yeah.
but when they were
Yeah,
over
man.
here the other day, you had to like be off, separate area when you wanted to like go smoke because you weren't trying to do that
Ooh.
around them.
That's
You
fair.
know?
Yeah.
And then it's kind of like almost a level of like, I don't know, a lie maybe or something, or like deception at some level.
I mean,
Like
not everything had to be in people's face all the
no,
time.
I agree, but being able to like, I don't know, I feel like there is something to like inclusion or like
Almost like
when-
what if you smoked
like-
and said you'll be able to smoke someday, but not yet. Like more of that type of vibe. Is that what you're saying?
or maybe just like not hide it from them,
Hmm.
and I'm sure questions come up,
Oh yeah, no,
And then,
I don't
like,
even
talking
hide it
to
from.
him,
I
yeah.
tell them I'm about to go smoke.
Right.
I let them like it's
Right.
like I'm about to go
Oh,
smoke.
then perfect.
And they're probably surrounded by that
Yeah,
sometimes
they know
anyway.
what's up.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
like that's how it be. Like they know what's up, but it's
Right.
just like,
Yeah, I'm not advocating for telling them to do it.
oh no,
I'm just
kids, do you want to get
more
high?
so
you
the
have to
hiding.
sit there and some people like they're really like do the eye thing.
Right.
It's like, dude, we in a different age. These dudes is 12. Internet showing them. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's how I feel, especially now. It's like, yeah, they bring up little stuff like the other day I told you with the little, wait, no, I was talking to Merrick, I think, with, they were just showing me some, I don't know, some rap beef with some dude, Rich Sam, and like some little girl or something like that. I'm just like, I'm listening to them conversate about it. It's hilarious. It's funny to me.
That's random as hell.
What part was what's so funny about it? Just
the fact, like, I mean, they're like, yo, check this out. You know, I was like, man, these dudes is corny, but it's funny. You know, I was like, it is funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's super corny.
Hmm.
And Dad said something that kind of like stuck out to me. It was just like, and I was not even like really in the conversation. I'm just letting them talk. There's like, man, you can't really understand what they're saying, but when you do, like, he said something about something pull down your pants or something like that, and they're like, they talking about a dude. It was like, nah, they talking about a girl. It's just like funny to hear them talk about it, and it's like, I'm like, I kind of put them on, you know, a couple different little music tracks. You know, I gotta play a little my lo-fi, a little different, a few little things, little J. Cole.
J. Cole,
okay. You know
okay.
what I'm saying? I gotta put them on someone else a little bit when they're around me sometimes. But I don't know. It's funny seeing just the youngins, you know what I'm saying, especially like my nephews and nieces, just conversate and just how they thinking. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what do you even know about it?
Like
yeah. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's like they definitely know a lot. Just
Do you feel like they know more than you did at 12 then? That's such a hard question to answer, I know.
yeah, that's a hard question to answer because there's definitely some stuff that I mean it felt like probably shouldn't be known, you know, at that age. But
You mean for you or them?
for me, for them, yeah. Well, for me, I was talking directly for me. I feel like they definitely do deal with stuff and know stuff that they really, you know, it's unfortunate they gotta deal with.
No, I was gonna say the same
that
thing. My
age.
little brother, like he's had a way cushier life than I had when I was growing up, and I'm happy that he's had to have that. But I think that when you have to go through, you know, those things when you're young, it's kind of like you end up gaining a wisdom from that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, you really, like, I feel like you really can, and like especially if you listen to, you know, that voice, or you listen to other people around you too sometimes.
Yeah, and it's definitely about like listening to that and then acting it, because it's like I feel like a long period of time in my youth it was like, you know, making a bunch of mistakes and then not learning from them over and over and over and over until you finally like get it through your head or like understand what you're supposed to understand about a certain situation.
Exactly. And sometimes, man, I mean, like, just talking to Merrick about this the other day, they just like, sometimes you like, I don't know if it's divine intervention or something, sometimes things happen and like it can just, depending on how you move or how you respond to the situation, like it could really, really like impact you in a positive or negative way.
Right.
You know, and I feel like, especially times now, like, man, there's not a lot of room for mistakes. You know, and depending on what situation you're in and who you are and how you living.
So
you
how
don't
does
have that many
does
mistakes.
this tie back to what we were talking about with the kids though?
Oh, with the little
Like,
kids.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. How does it? I mean,
I
just
don't know.
I feel like we almost went on, not really a tangent, but more so
Always
just
tangents.
like, more so like even
Hold up. Gotta hit this.
Yeah, I hit that way around.
I don't know.
Because
I
it
feel
seemed
like it does.
Yeah, I feel like it does too, but I
Hold
don't
on, I'm
remember
trying to
the
catch it,
connection back
trying
to
to catch it.
the original point. I don't know.
Oh well, I felt like it was kind of like
like
when you're
seeing
going
it
in
through their eyes
seeing
and
through
then
their eyes.
understanding, like, you know.
difference of like is it like the situation of what like they're growing up in? Is it cushier or do you have to face certain adversities at a young age where maybe shouldn't have, but then like I don't know, it can build a lot of wisdom and character, you know, at a younger age.
So maybe this ties back to what I was originally asking you about, in that
Hiding from
maybe it makes more sense to not do that.
We caught the train,
Like
boys.
not hide that shit.
yes,
You know,
hell yeah,
from your nephews or
Dude.
cousins or
I just
shit.
had
At some level, your parents. I mean, I saw you were outside smoking a cigarette, you
Yeah,
know, in
yeah.
front of your parents.
Yeah,
It's
for
like,
sure. I feel like
oh, I forgot that they did come up here.
yeah. Oh, you didn't see
I
him?
forgot.
You were upstairs napping.
Yeah, I totally forgot.
No, it's good. They'll be here till Sunday. You might be able to see them before then too, but they'll be back. But yeah, I mean, shit.
I was gonna say something on that, dude. I was like talking to my nephew the other day. Like, I mean, I faced this kind of before, but like, caught me in a hard little jam because it was just like, he asked me a direct, you know, well, he told me how he felt about something, like, you know, felt about one of his parents and whatnot, you know, and I was like, he called me in the gym. It was like, what can I say? I can't sit here and lie to you. Like, oh yeah, that might be okay or whatnot. Like, it was a situation of like, he just felt some type of way because the parent had lied to them and whatnot. And it was like, yo, like, it's not, I can only tell him like, it's not cool for you folk to like lie to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand that you are mad about that. And it's unfortunate that you have to deal with just certain stuff like that he really shouldn't even have to deal with. You know, just being like a little 12-year-old, it just shouldn't have to deal with it. And it's like, it's just, I always feel weird because it's almost like there's that part that's like, oh, I do want to like, you know, protect you, all this stuff.
Right.
But then it's like, that's not going to help you at all. So, boom, I'm kind of, not even kind of, I'm going to keep it real
Just
with
keep
you.
it 100. Yeah.
Yeah, that took a
Feel
little
that.
while to get out,
Yeah.
but yeah.
I feel that. No, I was just finishing your sentence for you. But man,
I just,
that makes me feel like I need to smoke cigarettes in front of my.
Wow.
I'm just kidding, but not like hide that shit. I don't know.
the thing's an
'Cause I was
example too. It's not like you
Yeah.
gotta
No, yeah,
sit around,
no, fuck no,
you know.
no. But like you said, like, oh, I'm about to go smoke real quick. You know, like, you know, I don't know.
No, for real. No, I feel you. It's just like a part of like, okay, I'm not gonna sit here and just be like, come here, dude.
Yeah,
You know
exactly.
what I'm saying? But
That's what I was saying. Not forcing it on it, but more of like just being honest about it. And then if they have like fucking, you know,
they don't have questions.
ask questions or like fucking just want to chill with you while you do that, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
Cigarettes might be a little bit different, but outside I feel like that shit's bullshit anyway. Like, breathing air gives you cancer. Fuck off.
Shit.
Everything does.
We were
These
just
days we
talking
got
about
all
that
this shit
earlier.
floating
Yeah.
around in our air, man.
Well,
don't-
that too, but
Yeah.
I think just the act of breathing does it too.
Really.
Yeah, just no matter what.
And on a more positive note,
Hey, on a more
Yeah.
positive note, you know what though? It was funny spending time with my little nephews. I don't know if you were here.
You had the sleepover.
Yeah, the sleepover, right? Yeah, we had the sleepover. We was drawing, you know what I'm saying? We was drawing a whole bunch of stuff. And the next day it was so funny cuz like one of my nephews, man, this little dude, he's funny. But he, you know, I gave him like $5 or something for I forgot what it was. He did something. I gave him a little $5. And my other nephew was chilling. And he gonna sit there like, I'll bet you $5 that you won't make these shots in the little basket. I'm like, don't be betting. He sit there. Little man made he made 2 of them at first, and then he did another one. He was shooting a little paper ball in the basket, and then made 2 of them. And as he shot the 3rd one, it hit the little edge of the mic stand, right? But then he was like, my other nephew was like, I'll give you a chance. I'll give you 1 chance to make it from that. And he made it.
Still betting the 5.
Still betting the 5. And then he was like, no, H. You know what I'm saying? It was acting sore loser. I'm like, nah, give that 5 up.
Yep, he's
He
that
shook
double
on
down
it,
motherfucker.
everything.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm like, nah, give that 5 up. It took like 10 minutes, but I was like, nah, you about to give that 5 up.
Right.
Like, you're dead on that. You shouldn't be betting.
Yep.
And it was just funny because the whole
Respect the
time,
commitment.
yeah, man,
Lesson learned.
bet it up. He's sitting there the whole hour, mad, salty. I'm just like, boy, let me get this salt for you. You need
Just
some,
rub it in a little bit.
salty right now, for real. He's pouting. Oh no, he got more than I'm like, yeah, he got more. You just bet it up.
It was even, then you bet it up.
And then later on, he kept betting. Kept betting, kept
He's that double
losing.
down. Of course, he's that double down.
I'm like, man,
course,
you better
of
not
course.
bet no more, man. Like, you need to stop. But it was just funny, like, seeing that and, like, also just, like, this is, like, a moment. Like, hold up, man. Nah, you're not just about to,
Yeah.
especially you shook hands on it, too.
Yeah,
You're
hell
dead.
yeah, nah.
But, I don't know, it's funny.
You might be able to pull some fuck shit like that if you're just around other peers, but like when you got the old, especially at that age, you got like the fucking caretaker, old head, you know,
Mhm.
fucking whoever.
Yup.
I don't know. I feel like gotta take that lesson. Gotta
too,
take
man.
that lesson.
It's a lot, like, it's
Or
crazy.
like the time to teach the lesson.
Yeah. Nah, I've been like, that's something that's like crazy. I mean, I've watched, you know what I'm saying? Like, I've watched them when they're younger and stuff like that, but it's like around the age 12 when it's that time, you know what I mean? Like 12 to 16, you know, something like that. That's real vital moment. And seeing them even just talk about one of my nephews, you know, this how real it is, you know, it's like he's already talking about how can I get some bread? How can I get some money? You know what I'm saying? And like, and he just had a situation where I had to like kind of grill him about, not even really grill him some about stealing some shoes. You know what I'm saying? Stealing some shoes and having the police like come to the house and shit like that. And I'm just like, and this was a surreal moment. Like, and I know this might be like cliche or whatever, but I had to have that talk with him. You know, the double talk, like where it's like, first of all, what you doing stealing from somebody else? That's Buster. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Hold on.
It's double speed. You start good cop, bad cop. You starting off bad cop, good cop. No.
You know. I mean, yeah. You know, people done their dirt. You know, nobody's perfect, but it was just like, yo, you don't even want to do that, especially like you being a young, quote unquote, black male. Like, and like, there's no. You could be 12, but that don't matter. You know what I mean? And it's like I don't know. It's just weird to me to actually have to actually be like, dang.
Yeah.
And even just like, besides that, and just telling him like, yo, what? Like asking him. You know, I was more so like, why? Why did you steal it?
What he said?
He's like, 'cause I liked it. I wanted them.
I mean,
like,
it's not a great reason to steal, but I mean, I definitely stole a shitload when I was his
oh,
age.
hell yeah.
A fuckload.
Getting it in.
Yeah, for sure, thousands of dollars worth of shit.
So, you know, I definitely get it. And knowing I know his situation. So
But
it's like,
I also did it for the exact same reason. You know, like
you ain't got
my parents weren't about to fucking give me none of that shit.
Yeah, so I was like, I know what's up. You know what I mean?
And it was like, oh, I figured out how to steal some shit. Like, fuck them, I want it.
Sweet lick. Yo.
Yeah.
So, but I'm like, man, if you want something like,
But that ended up ruining.
Yeah,
this
that
kind of speaks
that
on.
didn't necessarily do
that
good things later.
Yeah, like it might have been good at that moment, but
Yeah.
karma for you is that ruined that relationship with those people that were involved completely after that point.
mm-hmm.
And then, I mean, surprise, surprise, like a couple years later, I'm in like 8th, 7th grade
Oh,
or
and your
some
cards
shit.
got stolen.
And yeah, I used to have
yeah,
this
yeah,
deck
yeah.
box that was like
Was it Yu-Gi-Oh!
13.
and Magic
Yeah, it
and
was
shit?
Yu-Gi-Oh! Magic.
Fuck.
It was like 13 decks in it, and I just had like literally thousands of dollars worth of cards, and it was
Yeah.
like that shit. I left in the computer lab one day, and the
Damn.
motherfucker stole it.
Gone.
So super karma didn't work out for me, but I mean I totally relate to the motivation to do that. I don't know.
No, for sure.
Like, and some of that shit is like, my mom told me not to steal.
Hmm.
You know, it might mean more coming from you because you're like closer in age. Your uncle, they might look up to you differently than
Exactly.
they look up to a parent.
One's
But,
coming to, especially when you're, oh man,
but I was just
Well,
trying to say,
mom
sometimes you need to actually like go through it to learn the lesson. You know?
exactly, and get that low.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because I know he was scared.
Or have fucking just parents coming over like pissed and like fucking
The fury.
pissed at you, you know, fucking just
What the fuck are you
I don't
doing?
know. Piece of shit moments, for sure.
No, hell yeah, learning lessons though, and it's like I'm glad that like at least I could like play a role in that and have the will and to act on it, like, you know, cause some motherfuckers be on fuck shit, and it's easy.
Like what?
No, I'm just saying, it's like it's easy for, and well, I mean,
No, what do you mean though?
oh, just
About
like
what you just,
as far as
elaborate.
like sometimes like, and I know I've had this my own experience, just like especially when you're young, you look up to motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? There's certain motherfuckers, even if you don't want to, like I remember just trust issue, you know what I'm saying, and like looking up to certain people, especially like guy and shit like that. Me being a guy, I'm looking up to a man, like, oh, that motherfucker cold, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then like you realizing like this motherfucker a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like, damn, B, this
Yeah.
is fucked up. But I kind of have this, you know what I mean? So it's like, and some of them, like, it's funny though, cause I was thinking like, it's crazy because even though I've met and like kind of looked up to as growing up, like certain motherfuckers that was like pieces of shit, just like still learned some things from them.
Yeah.
What not to be, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? But also a couple little things, you know?
Yep.
Mm.
I feel the same way. I was just about to say, is there anybody that comes to mind for either of you guys?
Yeah.
For person that did that
This
for you,
Piece
where
of
you
shit dude
where-
that was with my
yeah.
mom.
Okay. Word.
He's a piece of shit. He just like kind of like, you know what I'm saying, a little, you young, you ain't trying to get it in, you know, hot and horny. He just like put me up on some sex things. Well, you know, as a young dude, it was probably bad. It was definitely bad. You know what I mean? But at that moment, there was a moment of bonding. It was like playing a video game with a motherfucker that, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it was a certain thing, unfortunately.
No, I
But-
feel it. What about you? Is there anybody or no?
I don't know.
It's kind of a weird
about you?
question. I didn't have anybody in particular in mind. I was just kind of curious.
Mm.
Like thinking about it. I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of people like that in my life,
Mm.
or that
Or
had
been in your life.
have been in my life. Yeah, and a lot of them
Not no
definitely.
more?
Yeah, not anymore. But along the way, but I've known a ton of people because of moving around
Yeah,
when I
so
was
many
young.
times, yeah.
Back
Like
to back.
yeah,
Back to back.
but when you do that, you end up like, I don't know. At least for me at that time, it was like getting into some shady shit.
Mm.
So like, I don't know. I feel like I've met a ton of people in the like
In that
super criminal realm, or like super
direction
just
at
like,
least, like,
the
yeah.
direction of just like on fuck shit.
Yeah.
Thundercats, baby.
Yeah.
Had this old fiend that used to like call me and my homeboys like Thundercats, like just ripping down the street, like when we come down.
That's what he called you when he would come
He
to
called
pick
us
up?
Thundercats, yeah.
He's like, what up, Thundercat?
It's funny. My God, man, it's so funny. Like sometimes thinking back, just like in certain situations, like how fucked up, crazy, but hilarious. Like the comedic aspect of it.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Bro, I'm so high right now.
I am. I just hit a moment. I just hit
Dude,
a
I've been
moment.
so high this whole fucking time. I've literally been bouncing back and forth between you guys and like looking for eye contact because I'm just like, I'm high.
You're like, give me some eye contact, please, please, please.
Dude, so
Oh,
I had
man.
this idea. It might not work with these cards, but I had this idea of just like throwing down a card as a topic and just shooting the shit on it. But so far, the cards I've pulled have been fucking. My son says you touched him inappropriately. Yeah,
Oh, great.
I just
deep
need to
cut.
get my.
That's a topic we don't need to talk about.
Yeah, exactly. I just need to get my dick wet.
Oh,
And then-
shit.
Is that really necessary? It's this card game. It's kind of like Cards Against Humanity, I think. So, but it's not quite like it, obviously.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck that is. I think we played it one night, but it was
think
kind of weird.
Yeah.
Actually,
we
I don't
played
know
that
if I
super
played
drunk.
it.
I feel like.
Yeah,
I don't.
that's
Yeah, I,
Remember
I
that night
remember.
we were
I
on the
was
couch?
like
Yeah.
on the computer, like
Oh,
Yeah,
off
some-
it.
yeah, La La Land and
Yeah.
shit, and I was literally right by motherfuckers while they
I
was
know,
playing.
yep,
it.
yep. We were sitting at the desk while everybody was at the couch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That whole game is a fog to me. I feel like
Yeah,
that drinky drink.
Yeah, I feel like it was something where you like put down a card and then you make a story out of it, and then I don't know.
Yeah.
some weird shit.
I don't know.
I don't even know.
That
Here's
goes
one.
against my religion.
Okay. So I guess there's a few winners. Maybe we just won't say the ones that are ridiculous.
I don't even
Isn't
like.
Isn't this a party foul? Isn't this a party foul? Why are we talking about religion right now?
Well, we ain't drunk though.
That's true.
If now that would be so horrible. I just dude. I tune
I just-
motherfuckers
Fuck
out.
these cards.
I
bro.
just came. This was a brilliant idea, Griff.
Oh my god. Yeah, it was a terrible
Wait,
idea.
let's
if
get
if
it-
we had the right cards,
oh,
it would be good. This just What can I say?
Nice.
The heart of the cards did not guide us.
The heart of
Nah.
the cards.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's just been I've been talking a lot these last couple of days.
Yeah.
I mean, a couple of things that did stick out though. Me and Joe told you went on that trip.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah, which he's gonna have to talk about himself. But just seeing that that transformation.
Dude, he
Yeah,
looked
this-
super good when I seen him in person. Like I was like, damn, dude, you look
hate this
fucking
dude.
like different. Like I didn't say it to him. I should have though. But
Yeah.
just like more alive, I guess. I don't know how to if that makes
Just
any more
reminds
sense.
me when Benny came back. Fucking the Odessa shit, meeting Sage. I saw that dude. He looked like Jesus coming in the room. Just like, what up, guys? This
Straight
motherfucker.
up.
Yeah.
That's
Straight
hilarious.
up.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Nah.
Jesus, he is the way Jesus.
Dude, he
That's the way
does.
Jesus.
Man, for real. Like the hair, swear.
And just his vibes.
Yeah, the
You can't not
vibes,
like
too,
Ben.
yeah.
He's,
I feel like
he's
you.
fucking Benny.
I feel like you could. But
Everybody
like,
can not
over-
like
over
everybody,
time,
but yeah.
You know, over
Yeah.
time he'd probably.
Do the Ben
he'll always
Dazzle
he'll
a
get
lot,
you.
know,
Yeah,
it's
he'll get you.
Benny. Nah, oh, I love.
Benny Bendazzle,
For real though.
the Ben Dazzler,
Man.
dude. But speaking of trips, we need to fucking.
What kind of trips?
I
I
mean,
don't
I've been
know.
taking microdoses through the week.
Oh, those kind of trips.
You know, I
You
wasn't
could go on
talking
trips inside of trips.
I mean,
Oh.
Both.
that's what I was talking
trips
to
on trips on trips.
Joe about. Just like, yo, like, it's just how he was talking. It
Mhm.
just reminded me of tripping. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
In that type of
It's
way.
just that condensing it
It's
down.
condensed.
Like,
It's
yeah.
all crazy,
Mhm.
but it's dope. You know, and yeah,
But he didn't even. He traveled for fucking
Months,
two,
right?
2
Yeah,
months
like
or some
almost
shit?
2 months.
That's crazy.
Jesus.
Shout out to Joe.
Shout out.
It's just like hop. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
he
let
was
him tell it.
yeah, he was describing it a little bit to me. I was like, damn, okay, like that sounds fucking intense.
That's
It's
where
probably super needed though, just like a hard reset almost. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, he was doing work, so I imagine some of it.
Whoa,
Just
that's the
parts of
thing.
it.
Whoa,
Some of it.
yeah. And he just picked up on some stuff.
Right.
Like he was like one of the trips. I think he was just like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna do this.
Yep.
Hop on this train here, and
Yep.
That's sick.
connect with some people, and it was like bow, 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 bow.
That's sick. But I was more so talking about doing some like, well, I think definitely other trips, but I mean, we've talked about this for a minute, but like going someplace and like staying somewhere for like a minute, like a month or something, you know?
Hell yeah. That one way, baby.
Yeah.
Till you're ready for the other one way. You know?
Yep.
Or maybe the other one way to somewhere else.
Yeah.
And then the other one way back home.
Yeah.
We're talking about death.
I
What?
guess we could be, but we're talking about life right now.
Okay, I
Traveling.
just jumped straight to. All right, back real quick. All right,
And then the one-way ticket takes you all the way
Yeah.
down to the end.
No, but
I'm with that.
combine that with the India trip, but like hit somewhere else
Yeah.
on the way or something.
But just how, yeah. Make
But I
life
was-
move that way.
Yeah, but once we got like things that we can do,
Yeah.
like while we're there,
Sustaining.
Like
doing,
yeah, I
Like
wouldn't-
making video games and shit.
like maybe something like that.
Something like that.
Maybe something like that, bro.
Nah, for real.
Hell yeah.
That, but then also just like have to, split it kind of like half and half between just like enjoying the fuck out of that area experience and shit.
Some life shit.
Yeah, and then
Healing up a little bit, maybe.
also absorbing those vibes and putting that into, creative energy.
Yeah, for sure.
Think super needed. Definitely feel that need.
And I haven't been out of the country.
Exactly.
Never been. I don't even have a passport. What the fuck I need a passport for?
I've been to different states within the same country, but
Yep.
I need to get in some different soils
Mhm.
outside.
I've looked at it.
Plenty.
Let's go to the jungle.
You've looked at the other side?
Pictures, man.
No. I mean in real life. I
oh.
looked at it from a distance.
We talking computer distance because we could just pull it up on the screen these days.
I'm not-
Yeah,
no.
you know what I mean?
If it
What
was
we-
computer distance, I would have been on the other side. Fuck. What you mean? No, I saw it across like Niagara Falls or some shit. Or no,
Yeah.
Niagara Falls and International Falls.
Mm. The other land.
It looks exactly like our land.
Except some weird fences and people standing around with weapons.
I didn't see any of that.
Not there for sure.
Yeah.
No car. Nobody's trying to like.
Well, and in
Yeah.
International Falls, I wasn't by the, like right on the border. Like there's
Mhm.
a town there,
Mm.
and the town's like not built on the line. It's like a little bit away.
Yep.
But that was during youth group era.
Mm. Wait, youth group era. So high school?
Like 15.
Oh, when you were doing the one through church, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
youth group at church. Yeah.
Yep.
Your boy.
It's holy boy.
Holy boy.
That's why I said why we bringing up the
The old.
like that's a party
foul.
foul. Yeah.
Mm.
Or not
We'll
table
save that
etiquette
for-
or some
yeah.
shit.
Yeah, because of your deep Christian values.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't want to be ridiculed for them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I feel
No,
I
I'm
feel
just
this. I-
But I do feel like we all have pretty complicated views on that. So
It's complicated. I think that's the best view. But that's
Yeah.
complicated too. That's so. See, it's a. Yeah. It works.
Complexity on complexity and more.
But it's simple too.
It is.
So they say.
Yeah.
So the art says sometimes.
As long as no.
Mhm.
I'm sipping this tea.
Intermission.
You just lost your train.
There it is.
Dude, I don't know why, but I think Luigi loves string cheese.
Like it's his favorite.
He gets so excited when I open some.
You should say string cheese when you open it.
Okay, so
yeah,
we can talk about it and he'll know what we're talking about. Okay.
Yeah. And he'll be like, his ears will be up right now. He'll be like, string cheese? Y'all got some?
Yep. Little fucking person over there.
Little
He's
fucking-
been a little bit depressed.
He needs a
I know.
motherfucking haircut, sir.
Yeah, me too.
He needs love and a haircut.
Needs love and affection.
Yeah, and
Yes.
the dog shit needs to get cleaned up.
It does. Weege, come on, man. That's a trick I can never teach you, bro.
That'd be such a.
He'll get it. He'll get it.
That'd be
Just
He's
out there
pretty
lobbing
smart.
his shit across the yard. Yeah. Too bad he can't podcast with us, you know? That's what I'm saying.
No.
Get his
I feel
vocab
like-
up a little bit.
Do we,
No.
do we
I know.
have... Wait.
Sorry, people. I feel like he would have nothing good to say.
Oh, really?
I
You wouldn't
think
say
Weege
one
would
thing,
have some
man?
good shit, man. He
Yeah.
got adventures under his belt.
Yeah, but
True.
I don't think that's what he would say to us.
That's true. He probably wouldn't.
The first thing.
We'll
Don't put
definitely
me on
be
a
like,
leash. What
I'm
the
like,
fuck?
give me that food job eat.
Just on some fiend shit.
I think it would literally just be like food,
Ah,
food,
Food?
food, hunger.
Nah, not
Food.
Weege. Nah. When we go on them adventures, I bet he'll be saying, damn, this shit cold. Just like geeking.
Geeking.
Hi.
He's running
Yeah,
down the
I-
fucking
yeah.
lakes, like chasing
I imagine
waves.
like a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old level intelligence from Weege, you know, like where they could have like a hold a
5-year-old heart.
conversation.
But, you know, I think he intelligent. I think he got the spirit
A
of, you know-
5-year-old's intelligent.
I mean, shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like he's kind of like a 5-year-old.
Oh,
give
oh.
him a
I totally
5-year-old.
thought
Yeah.
you said
Yeah, I
a
got
5-year-old's
that too.
intelligent.
Yeah.
Like asking, prompting the question.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
No. Man, shout out Weege. He's smart. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Shout out weed because your boy's high. So
Shout out to Mary.
Oh, man. I think, dang. I had an idea with those cards, but this would totally take another approach. Getting flash
those cards that he just.
Yo.
Oh man.
But no. Fuck them.
No.
Fuck them. They're dead right now.
Yeah, those are dead. Those are
We can-
doghouse.
Yeah,
I don't think we
yeah.
pull them back out either. They live there now.
We should have came with the flashcards.
Yeah.
What the fuck we need flashcards for?
We need to get better at the stream shit so people could actually just like,
That's okay, motherfuckers. There's
Just say
2
some shit.
motherfuckers that ain't even listening to this part because
No,
they
sir.
already tuned
Alright.
out.
No, I'm saying
That's
if they were,
alright.
if we get it right.
Shout
and
out
have
to the
some-
people
yeah.
that's listening,
Thank
man.
you
We
if
love-
anyone's
we
listening.
love
We
that.
love
Yeah.
you. We love you.
If not,
It's
What
gonna
I'm
get
saying is
better.
we got to get it on, you know, so then people can say things, and then we can be like, oh, we don't need flashcards from a
Yes,
random
I
fucking
agree.
card game
Yeah,
that is meant
that's
for
true.
a different thing.
Yeah.
So it's a bad idea. But
That's an interesting.
yeah,
Um,
and who
thing.
knows? Maybe someone's saying something right now, or completely not. You know.
Well, it don't really matter. Well, I mean, I guess it could if we did, interact with like stuff at some point. That might be
Exactly.
an interesting thing to do. But I was gonna say, has there been anything that like while we've been doing any of these initial podcasts that you guys have been like, about?
The technical aspect for sure.
What you
Definitely,
mean?
like, there's some glitches in the audio for sure. That come
Yeah.
up and it does like a weird like thing, and there's no way to fix it. It's something in I think it's USB cable.
Yeah, I
But-
think so. But that's what I was saying. I was hearing while I was recording. There would be a couple times where we would just start to like geek out, and then I would like try and figure it out, and then
Yeah.
it would end up just working again.
Yep.
And then it would only happen like 2 times in that I would notice.
But so that's one thing for me for sure.
That's definitely frustrating.
What else?
Yeah.
Just my own shit, like my own ability to like feel comfortable in a microphone and like get that worked out.
Yeah, same.
Like, and especially as I'm high right now, I'm
Yeah.
you know, further realizing it. I'm like, damn, this is kind of intense, B. Like, damn, I want to go do some yoga and maybe go lie in
Nah,
the
for
grass.
real. For
Even
real.
if 0 people listen, you know.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
interesting, the process of the anxiety.
right.
But are you a kindred
No,
spirit?
this is someone who's just. I mean, that's always a thing. I feel like just
Right.
getting over being voiced this high and all the shit and all the tension, kind of, you know,
yeah.
or feeling like there's like this thing on you,
Right.
spotlight on. But
Yeah, there's definitely a level of I don't know.
am I
For
gonna
me,
get ridiculed?
no, not for, at least for me, not that, but like as much as I can stay in the conversation, and I don't like, I find that relatively easy. I do feel like at some level it does influence, like I am paying attention to what I say more, and like,
For sure.
you know,
For sure, yeah. It takes so much time, I feel like, to get that comfort of it.
Right.
Of it, you know? What's that been like for you on stage? Like, what was that process like? Because I haven't been through that. Like, besides acting way back in high school, and it was different for sure.
yeah, I was just about to say I've been the
Yeah.
engineer behind the scenes for a
Yeah.
minute, so like,
Yeah, what was that, like, evolution like for Rio G, the famous Rio Galore?
It was I definitely, I don't know, like I always get the butterflies, you know what I'm saying, beforehand. That always happens, but I always tell myself that's because I love it, you know what I'm saying? That's because I want this. And I tried to, or went through a process of like reversing, where it's like, instead of saying I'm nervous, like I'm just excited, but I'm basically lying to myself. I'm really ready to throw up or something.
Right,
But
right, right.
as soon as I hit the stage, damn near all of that goes away. I know that's like cliche as fuck.
It's
but
not though. I feel like there's a reality to it.
It just like, it literally just kind of like goes away.
Why do you think that is? Do you think it's because you like start to understand that like you have some shit to do? Like you, it's
That,
like,
and I realized like, no, I can do this. Like,
Yeah.
confidence,
That's where
things
the-
kick in.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like things start
That's
to
where, like,
kick
Heart of
in.
Gold just, like, beams up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it is funny, as I'm saying this too, there are moments when it's like, when you're in the zone and sometimes like you get taken out of it, like, in like, whether it's like, oh shit, I feel like people are maybe not vibing with this right now. This is taking me out the zone. Do I push through it, or do I kind of like engage and, or just try to do some Jedi shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever it is. And I mean, which is, I've never really had that like super fuck me up, but like it definitely, I can notice it, like, oh, let me try this. Yeah. I was kind of thinking about that the other day, how being on stage, like I remember me and my one of my best friends, one of my bros, we did the talent show together, and like, if I remember correctly, I think we signed up for it, and we were just like, you know, kind of like, you know what I'm saying, like, oh shit, man, all right, we're gonna sign up for it.
Wait, how old were you for this?
Oh man, were we in 7th or 8th grade? 7th or 8th grade, one of them. Damn, wait, yep, 7th or 8th, so like middle school, probably like what, 12, 13,
Yeah.
around there,
It's like
14.
5-year difference between them. Yeah.
Yeah, and so we signed up, and then we did a little rap thing, you know what I mean? Afterwards, thought we was the shit, da-da-da. But that definitely helped with confidence, anxiety,
Right.
dealing with certain, like, from when I looking back, like, if that didn't happen,
What was the response from your classmates?
you know, everybody was with it. I mean,
Oh,
everybody
okay,
with
yeah,
it, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like,
okay,
oh, yeah. All that stuff, so it was cool, man.
Okay, that's dope. That's
Murray,
dope.
wait, yeah, Murray. I went to Murray Junior High.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the middle school.
Yeah.
Shout out Murray.
Shout out Murray.
Shout out Murray. I do feel like, so I did act in plays in high school and shit, and I do remember a similar feeling, at least once the thing started, where it's just like this thing to do, what you mentioned a little bit. I've definitely was working on the confidence and being able to cultivate that, and just like power up, hit the heart. Still working on that now for sure. But in that time, it was like this process of the train.
Process of the.
As when you were when you were in plays and shit,
Oh yeah. Okay, so I feel like in that space,
gaining the confidence, but
Yeah.
like it being a thing
it
where
just was also a thing that had to get done, kind
Right.
of.
it was like
um,
it's time now.
So it kind of just makes you do it at some level,
Right.
almost.
There's
You
a part
almost-
of you that's like, man,
Yeah,
do this.
yeah, because it's like the idea of not doing it has
Kind of
its
reminds
own-
me of a trip in a sense, where it's like you kind of can either choose to succumb to the moment,
Mm.
or you can choose to like hold on to it because you're like afraid,
Right.
you know.
Right.
And that's that kind of, I feel like that's why it feels almost like you hit it and then it's just,
Yeah.
you know, it's almost like a switch got flipped.
It's true.
And then you can either get fucked, you know, go into it or
Right.
totally get fucked. Or you can like go into it and then get fucked a little bit and then get back into it.
Yeah.
Right.
You're
Rinse
gonna
and
get
repeat.
rocked a little bit, but
Right.
that's good. Like I look at that as like, I mean, just the struggle come growth. I'm like definitely, yeah, you know, levels to the shit. But
Yeah, I never liked doing that shit.
Yeah.
Like I
just going through it.
I've experienced it a couple times with things that I've done, but I never liked that feeling, which is why I always like didn't do that shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know, in theater, I was on the lights. And I wouldn't do any
Damien, try this. No, I'm on the lights.
yeah, I wouldn't even be in theater. They just wouldn't have another light person.
Mm.
And like somebody would just ask me to do it and I'd be like, all right. And then come in, they tell me what I'm doing for rehearsal, do it,
Mm.
you know, and then do it the next day. And then that was it. Or the next couple of days because they do plays over a couple of
Yeah.
days.
Yep.
But
So
yeah, I
man,
don't know.
it's, no, it's important for everybody to be able to. Yeah, this sound corny.
Cultivate the
The
heart of
creative,
gold.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically, you know what I'm saying? For real,
Mhm.
like, it's important for people to, like, at least, whatever you're doing, like, be it presented or, like, something. And that's why, like, even thinking about this might be high tangent, but even thinking
It's
about
all
this
high
with
tangent.
the podcast here, just, like, making voices heard and feel important at some level.
Mm.
Even if it's, like, a
Right.
quote-unquote small ground level like
Yeah.
this where
Well, it's going to be interesting because we're going to be bringing a lot of people on over time for sure.
Exactly.
If, assuming they'd like to come, that are definitely going to feel uncomfortable with it. You know, having
Yeah,
not done it,
sure.
having not been given that space to do that. Especially once it's an actual platform with people paying attention to.
Yeah, and I think
If people choose to again.
to go back to a previous topic of fucking things that we've noticed while doing it,
Mm.
I definitely felt like at least, I mean, I wasn't there for the Tim one,
Right.
or I left halfway through
Yeah.
or whatever. But the Padang one, I felt like, and obviously that was like the fucking first one besides the
Yeah,
bullshit
you're
ass
so
test one that we
We're
did.
talking about the podcast.
Whoa, whoa, no one's listening anyway, so who gives a fuck?
I know, I love it though. Keep going. And the Padang one you said.
Oh,
Yeah.
like I was writing notes down and I just had I kind of felt like, and I feel like it went really well, but
Mm.
like the start of it,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like making, because it takes a while for people to get comfortable, you know, and obviously
sure.
like even for us, you know, like it's not like we're any more experienced than she was in that circumstance.
What do we do? I'm
Yep.
sitting on my thumb.
Right, but
Yep.
I feel like having it be less of an interview, you know, oriented kind of thing,
Mm.
like where it's all on that person necessarily to like drive, you know, like you're asking questions and stuff, but then it's like primarily them like answer. Well, I feel like, I don't know, maybe at some level
Prompting the
that's
story.
right. Maybe at some level that's good because then it gets kind of people, it's easy for people to talk about themselves, I guess.
Mm.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So it might make sense to do that. I was just thinking maybe like having more of like a, like kind of starting it off with more of like a just natural conversation versus, and then
Mm.
like kind of getting to that stuff later on versus starting on the
intensity.
Yeah, the intensity.
It sets a
might-
tone. I
yeah.
guess I don't know. It's at the same point. At the same time, though, it does kind of like set a tone. And for
Yeah,
some time,
yeah,
for certain
yeah.
situations, having that like seriousness can be cool. But someone might also share some shit that's funny as hell and just like
That's
yeah,
true.
hilarious,
That's true.
which
It all
we
depends on-
encourage, by the way.
Right.
Exactly.
You know.
Well, I guess then, yeah. I think maybe what I was saying isn't maybe necessarily anything about the beginning then, but more of just a getting better about like holding a conversation
For sure.
Yeah.
you know, like
sure.
actually an even amount of time
Yeah.
going back and forth.
Yeah.
Maybe people don't want an even amount of time though. I don't know. Maybe over time we'll figure that out.
Just getting better
Motherfuckers will-
about
yeah.
it though.
Yeah, I think we
Motherfuckers will-
definitely will.
Not, you know,
Understand the
stalling
process.
on things.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like everything's been pretty good. I felt like that Tim one was sick, and from
Mm.
what it sounded like,
Yeah.
from the rest of it, sounded like it got pretty
Yeah.
epic,
It definitely did.
which is dope.
I notice everybody kind of says, we kind of help make the space just accepting and
Mm-hmm.
You mean in life right now? In
Yeah,
general?
well, in
You're
general,
not
it's
talking
kinda
about
funny.
specifically the podcast, right?
well, I mean, bit of both, cause like it's funny, cause like people say that when they come through here to crib and spot, they're like,
Right.
dang, bro, this is da da da, like y'all make whatever, the case
Right.
is, like
Yeah.
in different ways it said that, and but speaking on the podcast, like the two people that have been on just made it kind of clear where it's like the space felt accepting as far as like people in it, like you know what I mean, like
Mm.
Probably
felt-
helps that we've had like close people, but yeah.
is that, oh
Yeah,
yeah,
that
for sure,
definitely,
for sure,
that
for
definitely
sure.
helps a bit.
Exactly.
But besides that, I feel like that's a quality that we all share, even outside of that.
Exactly. That's what I'm basically kind of getting at.
Yeah.
It's like even that, and then house shit and life stuff. It's like, all right.
Right.
Shit. Well, that's good. We should be proud of that, I guess. Not I guess.
I ain't patting myself on no motherfucking back.
Yeah, nah.
It does take work to cultivate, though. No, I'm not even saying on some.
No,
like,
no.
we got it
No,
all
no,
figured out.
totally.
I'm just
I
saying,
know you weren't. I was being.
at some level, like, yeah,
What is it?
It started it. Doing is hard. Shit.
yeah, it is.
Oh, did you pass that to me
Yeah,
a
I
grip
did,
ago?
but I was about to be like, fuck it, I'm hitting it.
I didn't even notice that you did that. My bad.
Like that's one thing that like really respect and like, doing is hard.
Mm.
No, let me rephrase that. Doing is not hard. You know what I mean? But for whatever reason, like,
Convincing
to
yourself to do it.
yeah, dude. Like, and it's so crazy how much is up. Like, it's not, but it is. But it's like, it's all up to you. At some level, like, things will fall in place. It's crazy. Whatever the fuck happens.
I think that's why the Nike sign or the like logo and the motto is like such a staple, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like the reason it got that big. And I feel like it kind of taps into exactly what you're talking about.
It
Yeah.
prompts that thing of just do. And I mean, on just a base level, like,
It's like that David Goggins shit though. Like that's basically that dude's
Mighty
life.
Musashi.
That too.
I just put my guy out
Basically
there.
any cold motherfucker just does it, you know.
And not even people that we know of fame, just like a person that's getting up
just
5:30 in the
yeah.
morning, got 3 kids, you know what I'm
They're
saying,
definitely
single
just
mom,
doing it.
and just like killing it.
Yeah.
And when I think about that, what the
Yeah, I guarantee you on the inside they're going, man, I don't want to fucking do this right now.
like shout out, because I know how crazy it is.
Single
like,
moms, single moms, what up? Shout out.
It's
For
just,
real.
yeah, like super shout out
I
to
just
single
I
moms,
just thought
like,
about that for my mom. I was like, dang,
oh God,
sacrifice
dude,
so much.
I know, because I know some people right now, like, man, they don't sacrifice shit for their kids.
That's true.
Not like that.
That's true. I have both of those though.
Yeah, exactly. Experience.
Well, not both. It could have definitely been way worse on the pop side. You know,
Exactly.
Yeah.
also much worse on the mom side.
I mean, grateful for it all. We're still here alive. Pretty much got here pretty sane. So,
I feel like that was the first time I met your mom.
yeah,
The other day when she was over here.
it definitely was.
I feel like your family's been over here more than mine has. That's hilarious. I was just talking to your mom
Yeah.
about how I'm not very much of a family person.
Yeah.
And she was like, yes, you are. I was like, no, fucking definitely not.
Trying
Like,
to get better.
don't
at
make
it,
me feel
man.
better, Mom. All right. You're not. No. I'm being honest right now.
Well, I mean, dude, that's crazy. Like, well, I mean, I was just talking to this guy outside this coffee shop. Shout out Hassan.
Shout out who?
Hassan, yeah.
Shout out Hassan.
He's like OG dude. Just came up, was like, hey, can I sit there?
A dude that you never met before?
Never met. Never met.
That's hilarious.
I'm chilling outside after having a conversation with one of my homegirls, and then, yeah, he just walks in like, hey, I'm trying to sit there. And long story short, we were talking about cultures, ideologies, and like there being just this one human race, and you know everybody bleed this and shit that, whatever. And he was talking about like just here, he was like talking about this dude who had this story of this guy who basically his kids and his family visited him like once a year, right? And soon one of the years he got sick early on, right? And he ended up being in the hospital, and long story short, he ended up dying, and they ended up coming without knowing any of this, and just like they found out he was dead, you know. And he was just, and when he was saying it, it's just like realizing like the culture of just that disconnect of family, that like there's no connection like that, you know what I mean? Like, and he was talking about this other story of like this guy who was getting older, and talking about how like his kid, one of his oldest kids lives in a different state here, his other kid lives here, and just, you know, I'm thinking about like myself, just family. I'm thinking about like,
right.
Well, that's kind of our culture here. Like it's very just
it definitely
self, and like gotta get this bread, you know. And when people like do cultivate some type of togetherness, like in the midst of all of this, it's like a beautiful thing, and just appreciating that.
That's exactly why I fuck with the compound. I've always fucked with the compound concept.
Definitely has to happen.
Like, fuck living around a bunch of people I don't fuck with. Fuck that. Nah.
Just with where we're at right now, doesn't have to always be like that.
No, it definitely doesn't, but for right now, it definitely is like... Well, no, I think it always should be that other way, because I feel like what we're talking about is more connected, just between more people.
Yeah.
Rather than, it's basically right now kind of like a self-replicator almost, or something, where it's like the process is, you know, get married or have a kid at least, and then those kids, you raise them, and then they go off and do their thing, and then you keep going and then get old, but then they start their own family and then have kids, and so they're taking care of them. You're left there, and then
Nobody
the process
knows,
just keeps
cousins
going.
don't know each other.
Yeah, the process just keeps going, where like you just keep leaving off. Like it's basically like mom and dad are like the pinnacle of the family, and it's like grandma and grandpa are like these people that are,
man. But you know like back in the day,
exactly.
That's all it is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I'm saying the compound, I think, is a truth no matter what, because I think the nuclear family is almost like a shit idea no matter what.
I remember my grandma was alive. Like, man, shout out to OG. But like, man, once Granny died, like the family, you know, kind of, or I guess I'm seeing like the times, you know what I'm saying, and like seeing like just certain transitions, and yeah, it's crazy to think how like this connection holds so many things together. Then once that's gone, it's like, how does the individual of those connections stand?
Right.
Some of them being good, but I don't know.
It's just a struggle, I guess. Or if you don't, I don't know. I don't really have too much of a desire to do that personally. But that's just me. I don't know. Maybe.
Takes two to tango. Two though. Especially when
it definitely
comes
does,
to, like,
but I
older,
definitely...
Like, your cousin same age as me, or you know, shit
right.
like that, where it's like, all right.
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
definitely
like a
kind of
little
like that
kid.
with my uncle. Because, like, it's like, yeah, I'd like to hang out with my uncle. But then he's always like, man, like, let's hang out. Like, I'll see him at some family event or whatever. It's like, let's hang out. Let's get up. It's
No
like,
call.
It's like, I'm fucking free, like, all the time, dude. Like, hit me up. Like, let me know. And I used to hit him up to hang out, but then he would always flake on me, so, or, like, never get back to me until, like, a day later, you know, that type of shit. So I stopped being the forward one about it. And now, like, I'll see him at family stuff, and he's like, you know, hang out with me or whatever. Or not hang out with me, but he'll be like, yo, let's get up. And it's like, yeah, let's fucking get up. But I'm not going to go out of my way to make sure that happens.
Right.
Like, if you, like
But
you
you're
said,
also
it takes two to tango.
But knowing you, you're also not going to be like jaded about it in terms of like it's just like that is
No,
what it
yeah,
is.
it
It
is-
is
yeah.
what it is. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's-
So,
that's
like,
people do,
if,
yeah.
when and if that ever
It's just
happens,
when people
it's
speak
like,
on it that it's tough, you know. When
Yeah.
people like make
You constantly
commitments, go back
speaking
and
on it.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my god,
Yeah.
this dude. I
Yeah.
don't even want to hear it no more.
Right,
Just don't
right.
lie to me. I don't.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like if you kind of approach it as like, you know, the ball's in your motherfucking court, dude.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of can't do that as much.
Yeah.
And they also are almost like let off the hook a bit. You
Oh,
know?
yeah.
Like they
Some
don't gotta
pressure
bullshit
relieved.
you about some shit, you know?
Yeah.
Like don't even fucking hit me with the like, let's hang out, you know? Like,
Yep.
you know, we can hang out. You have a different life than I do. It's
Yep.
not a big deal that we're not in each other's lives other than fucking family events.
Yeah.
That being said, this is a 27-year-old perspective. I'm not sure how I'll feel when I'm, you know, 60. Yeah,
64.
exactly.
You gotta have the win. I'm 64.
Why? What's 64?
Oh, it's just that Beatles song.
Oh, no.
Isn't it 64? When I'm 64.
I don't know.
Mm.
I've only
I think it's
listened to,
That'd be
like,
hilarious if it wasn't 64.
I've only listened to, like, Abbey Road off the Beatles.
Yeah.
And, like, what's the other White Album?
Mm.
Those are, like, the only two albums, really, I fuck with.
They're both great.
Never really.
All clips
I'm a
from
newbie.
movies.
Yeah, I'm a newbie on Beatles. Wasn't the music I listened to when I grew up.
Yeah. Me neither. Only
Nah.
only once. Well, I mean, I heard individual songs, but I didn't really listen to the Beatles until like a few years ago, like maybe 5 years ago.
Yeah. I'm on, like, literally, like, last year.
Yeah.
No, 2 years. 2 years.
Yeah. But shit.
Actually, yeah, about that.
Should the goal of these episodes be
I was
so
about
once we feel like like the high where it kind of set it into that like low space
What you mean?
that we like wrap them?
Oh, yeah, I feel like,
That's what I was going to say.
yeah, I feel like there's definitely no reason we need to try and make it any longer than it needs to be. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Just to, like, stretch it out. But I was about to say one thing I just thought of as we were talking.
On the podcast?
On the podcast tip.
Yep.
Was, like, for live, this is dope.
Yeah.
But,
kind of.
I mean, yeah. I mean, we definitely need a better setup than the laptop on the X.
On the X-Air.
Yeah.
With
It's,
this cable just
uh,
like dangling out.
Just
Yeah.
cords galore.
Yeah,
But,
for real though. Shit.
but what was it? Oh, in terms of video releases,
Mm.
like that go up to YouTube, you know, like we stream it on YouTube, but then like we've recorded it, you know, and then we chop the beginning and end part and have
And
like an
upload it
intro
again.
song
Yeah.
and an outro song and have an you know,
And swap it. Yeah. I know what you're saying.
thumbnail, swap it out.
Yeah.
But because I was just thinking it would be dope to, because we were talking about shout outs to single moms, and we were talking about grandparents like trying to keep the family together, and I was like, ah, man, fucking the song off Mama. You know.
Fam.
Oh yeah, Fam was in my head. I was like,
Yeah,
I was
like,
about to
that
start
would be
singing
a perfect
it.
intro
And
slash
you know,
outro
keep
slash
the
both
family.
slash either one, you know,
For real
That would be
though.
dope.
Yo.
for this episode, you know.
I feel that's one of-
That came in my head too when I was
Hell
talking
yeah.
about my granny.
And it's got the, I feel like the vibe to it.
Yo, hell
You know?
Yeah. Hell yeah. Hell
I feel
yeah.
like, and I don't know what we've currently been doing. I feel like we've just been going 1-to-1 from the stream, whatever we stream.
Yeah, it's whatever is going
Yeah,
up right
yeah,
now is
okay,
what's on there. You can do a couple little things right on YouTube, but most of it you gotta just like re-upload.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think we should. I mean, granted, if it's like a really hard thing to do, like, or like requires a lot of time, maybe we don't do that yet. But I do think that would be something that we could improve there.
For sure.
I agree. Any other thoughts?
What would you say the purpose of the High Council
Oh
in
yeah.
your mind is?
I think
Or like
the
what is
purpose
it to
is
you maybe?
complicated.
Maybe not the purpose. Maybe that's a bad like super.
We gotta get better. We gotta get better.
No, but I mean like what you know is
You mean the underlying high council like from way back?
Sometimes getting high and sometimes expanding thoughts.
No, but I mean like in terms of the podcast. So like we have our podcast,
The IOC
like,
stuff.
the
Yeah.
IOC stuff, and then is High Council like, you know, almost like how Joe Rogan does like a different kind of MMA episode,
Oh,
and he
yeah.
like changes the name on it, or like how Chris Ryan has tangentially,
Yeah,
and then the Roma
talking out my
episodes
ass
and
and shit,
yeah. You know, is that what that is? You know, in terms of High Council, or is High Council just more of like a almost like a code word or something like that for when it's just us three?
Well, that's what my head thinks. is
Okay,
my-
yeah.
That's what my head thinks. That's
I don't.
hilarious.
Well, I
Goes
do
to
think
that.
different places think though.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's
for
fair.
I
real.
do think that.
My soul thinks differently.
My
No.
dick thinks
Oh
differently.
god. Just remember those fucking cards.
That's exactly why I said it.
Oh, okay. Wet dicks. What was the what did you just say before that though? Like just the end part so I can get back on this train. Just show me the caboose, bro. Come on. It's dude, it's getting the distance is
Oh, is this High Council?
Oh yeah, the High Council.
Yes, this is High
It's just
Council.
us.
No,
This-
is it?
This is High Council.
No, I
for
know
sure.
that this is High Council, but what I mean is like we were just talking about if this was like a separate kind of mini series almost within it, or
Mhm.
if it was just almost like,
Shooting the
yeah,
shit?
I don't know. Maybe they should be labeled though, because maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. It depends on like if it's normal for us to have guests or not. I guess. Maybe we just wait and see how things play out on that.
Oh yeah, did we decide of the three? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, no.
No, definitely continue.
I was just saying that it should be. Hold on, got it. It should be, or I could see it more so like, kind of being kind of separate thing, but not necessarily separate, but exactly what you kind of said.
Yeah, almost like labeled differently. So.
Yeah, exactly. Where it's
But that
like-
would only
We're-
be the case if we interview
I-
people a lot.
I labeled it different. Do you think we should be on a different channel? Or do you think
No.
we're still okay?
No,
Same
no.
platform.
Yeah,
no.
yeah,
You know how you can do
yeah.
like play, you know what I'm
Oh
saying?
yeah, for sure. No,
Yeah,
I was just
yeah,
making
yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
It's totally
It's like this one just
that.
says high in caps and then council.
Exactly.
Just 'cause I'm stupid and I wanted to like emphasize the pun.
Get it?
Respect the pun, bro.
Do
Is
you
the
get
other-
it? Do you get it? Just so
Get
obvious.
it,
Do you
get
Did
it,
it while I was
get
high.
it.
I'm sorry.
Do you get it? Sorry, folks.
Yeah.
I would be pissed.
But
No,
yeah,
wouldn't.
I
don't
feel
really
like
care
I
most.
feel like the three core of us, and then whoever is around and do shit too. Like, you know, it could still people pop up, but keeping this
Yeah.
flow, you know. And this has to be a part. As we can't. No if, ands, or buts about it.
No if, ands, or buts.
You gotta, you know,
I
you gotta
guess.
do what you gotta do.
I guess so.
Are we through with this?
Yeah, I think so. I think. Well, yeah. I don't know if there was anything else. I was just kind of curious also on the goal or like the purpose or
Of
like
what we
the-
just did.
No, of like, you know, because to me, like I was kind of coming into this looking at it almost like, because we didn't like prep at all. Like we were just gonna shoot the shit,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, for sure.
That was like the thought.
Well, we did
So-
have that idea of the flashcard
Yeah.
where I think
Within
that.
the middle of the podcast.
No,
Oh, we kind of had something like that.
Oh, beforehand.
Yeah. It was a good
Okay.
idea. We didn't implement it. And then
Yeah.
and then I was like, "There's a card deck right here. Let's just take some
Is
cards out."
it a good idea though?
It might be with the right cards.
Well, I mean,
Just on
we
some,
we just
like-
take flashcards, write down topic,
Yeah.
suggestions.
Then flip them when we get to
But-
stopping points.
But what would you even want to talk about in high council that are like topics like that?
I don't even know.
But
I
So
don't
you want to
even
be
know.
I think
you want to be
humorous and
pop
fun.
culture.
Let's try to
positive.
stay. Yeah.
You want to
Yeah.
be up on the latest trends.
Fuck
You
no.
want
No.
to be
Fuck no.
talking about
No.
fucking
No.
science.
No.
How
You
we
wanna
gonna be
talking
doing
about
some, like-
conspiracies?
A little bit. No. Solutions. Fucking
Solutions
new shit.
Flat Earth.
on.
Whoa.
What are your thoughts? No.
Wait,
Anyway.
that's what we want high
No.
council to be.
No.
Not the flat Earth thing. What you were saying.
Oh, well, actually, no. Actually, I don't know. I
No,
don't
no,
know.
that's just a random little fucking thing you could do, right? And just
Yeah, just write down something.
yeah,
I
just-
guess.
it's a little
Right.
trick.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
they
yeah.
got soundboards
right,
and other
right,
things. We
right.
can have tricks that are like logical.
Where we're
That's
like,
true.
I'm
That's
high
true.
as hell right now.
Yeah, it's
That's
like,
true.
Alright.
let's make this conversation swim differently. Yeah.
Yeah, or just look at them beforehand.
Yeah,
And just
I
have
like the
them in the
random
mind.
aspect though. I like the idea
That's true.
of. I mean, that's a flow way to do it, and maybe that's better because conversation is that way. But at some like maybe it already does that naturally, kind of if you're aware of the subject material. You
Yeah,
know,
I don't know.
conversation. If we just and eventually the things get touched.
Have y'all?
Or-
have
yeah.
y'all? My bad.
No,
to
go ahead.
interrupt.
No, that's
I was just gonna say, have you guys had y'all? I say
have y'all.
I say y'all so much.
Me too.
But have shit. Have you guys like even like heard any sort of like response or like motherfuckers that listen to it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wonder just if any of the things that we're talking about have been, you know, mentioned as like, you know, like, oh, I didn't like this or I did like this or whatever. Like, just curious if anybody's like,
No one's commented on the, like, made any negative comments on the audio or like the conversation side of it or the actual you know,
Right,
the
right.
human aspect of it. There's just been a couple technical things like, oh, it's too quiet. It's probably too quiet right now. If there is that one listener out there, shout outs to you. But also, I'm sorry it's quiet because it probably still is.
I mean, it's definitely up from when we first got
It-
told that.
It was loud on my phone though when we heard this. You know, just a moment ago. It seemed pretty solid. So
yeah,
yeah.
maybe they got a shit phone though.
Yeah, but yeah, it's the thing when you're gambling with just a few listeners, just a few good folks, you know. All right, let's fucking wrap it.
Wait, you didn't to answer the question.
Oh,
that
shit.
question
Oh,
that I
shit.
asked.
I mean, honestly,
Because I'm not on the social media, so like I don't know,
Mm.
and I'm
More
also
so
not
just,
talking
like-
to people that would listen to it. Like,
Yeah,
I don't-
yeah.
I didn't tell nobody to listen to it. I don't.
My
I mean,
bad.
maybe people
My
I
bad. I
know
didn't
will.
know that you had something to throw.
no,
in there.
no. Only thing I had to say was like,
Yeah, I
kinda
keep
what you
extending
alluded
it.
to
My bad.
earlier, just getting better at flow and conversation.
Oh, for sure.
That's the only thing that I personally noticed.
No, but not you. I'm talking about like, have you, like,
Any negative? No.
no. I'm saying good or bad, like things they like or don't like.
Mm.
You
Mostly positive. We're all
Okay.
positive.
Word.
Like there hasn't been like a negative, and even if it's
Well,
negative, that's good.
People
too.
have
We
said
need
the
it all.
audio is really clear. That's more
Well,
positive.
That's dope. Well then I
When it
kind
doesn't
of
go. Oh.
right. Sorry for the cotton mouth, folks. It's
Yeah,
it's been real.
Slammed some
We should
lines.
have had way more water or
Mhm.
tea.
We
But
need like these fancy little high council water pots.
fans, if you could get on making that for us.
Oh yeah. We're already just our heads are so big. We're already out here asking for favors. They just turn out to be our friends in
Yeah, right.
RL.
Right.
That's fine.
Like, oh, I heard you say that on the podcast. You could have just hit me up, bro.
For real.
Yeah. I don't even know anybody that listens. So, well, I'm sure I know people, but I don't talk to them. That's why I was asking the question. But I think, given your guys' answers, I think that we just keep on trucking along, kind of just winging it,
Yep.
personally. And,
With
you know, with
more
some...
like definitely.
No, like, I don't mean winging it. I mean, like, doing what we were doing. Like, it doesn't seem like that strategy or approach
Just keep
wasn't
going.
Oh,
working.
problematic.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
think so. No.
like
really didn't think so.
you know the
The-
way the Tim podcast started, the way
Yeah.
the Padang podcast started, like that seems like a cool idea.
I think the
you
trickiest
know.
thing is just going to be getting people to actually want to listen to a few hours of someone else that isn't like
Important.
that isn't important in
Yeah.
quotes.
Quote, unquote.
It's like
right.
the thing to me is I find it really stimulating and interesting to listen to this. I've listened back to
Right.
both of the podcasts, and it was really cool to hear like this deep thing happening with another person.
Right.
Exactly.
And I'm like excited to do that more with people, and I think that it's worth listening to, like on a lot of levels,
Right.
especially people from your own community.
Right.
Taking the
Exactly.
time to do that. It's not just about us as a platform for that, but it's like the person that using that space is getting a chance to express themselves and talk about something and get their opinion out in a way that gives them the full like space to do that, instead of it's just like you see these little tiny snaps of people and what they think.
Yeah, we trying to
on
build
social
real
media and stuff
connections
like
at
that.
a certain
Yeah.
level, like where it's
Right.
like we ain't got to, go deepest to the deepest sea unless you want to, but it's just
Yeah.
like
And so
bringing
as-
that availability
Exactly.
in a way.
And as members of a community, like I think it's important to be, listening when people are ready to talk, and that's
That's true.
fucking huge.
Yeah.
And so, I hope people choose to take a few hours sometimes and listen to a kindred talk about some stuff. We might talk a lot, but other people are gonna have a lot of time to talk too. So, there'll be
Yeah,
a
I
lot of
didn't-
things to,
Yeah, I felt like I feel like at least in the maybe Tim Padang podcast for sure, but maybe the Tim one I wasn't there for the whole thing.
Mm.
But I felt like in the Padang one it was very like Padang
yeah,
talking
like,
a lot.
we talked about that idea of like you have something you hold the past, but like we kind of do that. I think
We kind of do
Well,
that.
that's
goal is-
that's the art of conversation, right?
No, for sure. But then there's an aspect of not a pedestal, but like a position of like
Right,
kind
that's
of
what-
bowing to them in the flow of the conversation almost.
Right. That's why I was wondering about the
Yeah.
interview thing earlier or versus conversation.
Yeah.
It's like it reminds me when
Yeah.
like
but it
a
definitely
guest
does
comes-
set a different tone. My
Yeah.
bad.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, in certain traditions, when a guest comes, it's like feed you,
Right,
Yeah.
right,
feed
right,
them
right.
all this. It's
Exactly.
like that's kind of
Yeah.
in my head, kind of.
The attention is on them. You know,
Yeah.
it's a special.
Well,
That's
we're
it.
gonna conversate, you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right,
We're gonna have
right.
a real conversation.
Yeah, but it's
just like-
still
But
like
we're not trying to just talk at you.
Right,
yeah,
right,
exactly.
Like
right.
definitely trying to listen from you.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. I
And
want to
just-
listen more.
And
just
like
like,
ask proper questions. That's
Yeah,
like a
and I want
life
to
goal of
learn. I
mine.
mean, there's gonna be questions
Yeah,
I'll have, and
exactly.
but I want to learn. I
Keep it
wanna know.
natural. Yeah.
Exactly.
Or try to.
I mean,
anyway.
listen and learn it. Like, to,
I wrote that down in my fucking journal.
Listen and learn?
No, not listen. I should, but
Mm.
fucking listen more, talk less.
Wow.
Because I feel like
That's a great name for a podcast too. Listen more, talk less.
Oh hell yeah! How much are we doing that? Like how much? Like, asking people like, how much do we do that in our own life? You know what I'm saying? Like, basically, like, I don't. Yeah, people don't. I don't think people think about that. I don't. you know.
Probably not. Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, maybe they do. I can't. I'm
Yeah.
gonna take that back. Maybe they do.
Maybe they do.
But how many people acting on it?
Yeah, that's true. Going back. We're bringing it back, baby.
Full circle.
Just do it.
Thanos, baby.
Just do it.
No,
Full
what?
circle.
Fucking.
No. Because he said a line, something like he had the will to act.
All
but we
right.
done. All right.
Love y'alls. Peace and love.